Mike Tuckers, what's good on this Friday night? Surprise! Y'all know I was going live tonight. Y'all didn't even know. I didn't even tell y'all. I just boom, surprise. You feel me? As you know, I've been doing more exposure, more content. You know what I'm saying? These virtual interviews. I ain't gonna call them interviews. It's more conversation pieces with different people around the world. The globe that we live in, the big old blue thing you used to spin as a kid, the globe, right? Had the pleasure of meeting this wonderful gentleman by the name of Gerald Davis. Lives in Atlanta by way of Funky Town, Fort Worth, Texas, though. You know what I'm saying? Texas Stand Up. He has a podcast of his own. We're gonna get into his story, what he's about. Meet him, be introduced to him, and then of course, I'm gonna do my thing. I'm gonna introduce him to some sophisticated randomness, so it's going down a mighty big way. But yeah, let's go ahead and bring him on in here.
Oh,
Girl, what's up, my guy?
man, a whole bunch of nothing. Let me tell you before we get started. I do a lot of interviews, and most of them are trash. So you kind of, dude, you're polished and you're professional, and like you're like a real live person. So I need to have my Red Bull. I think I need to be ready.
You got one with you already?
No, I just said that as a prop. I really don't have one.
Yeah, man. So I'll say this. I think for one, honestly, I'm just a natural. Just my aura is just like naturally who I am. Like every day, I'm a teacher, right? So every day people be asking me like, man, what coffee you drink or what energy drink you be on? I'd be like, man, I'm just blessed. Really, I just wake up. I'm thankful to see another day. So I just feel like the energy should already be at an all-time high anyway. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I feel like I do this, man. This podcasting thing, this entertainment thing, that's me in a nutshell. So I just, I try to bring good energy, and I think you only have one chance to make a first impression. So if I don't impress you, you're gonna be like, nah, don't go to him. You know?
Man, I love that. That's super dope. I just want to tell you that I hate young teachers. I hate young teachers. I have no idea what's the matter with y'all.
Well, I'm 39.
Oh, well, you're not young. All right, never mind. All right, keep up.
Nah, see, hold on, Jared. See, hold on.
Now, come on. What you want? First question.
That was a jokey. You know what I'm saying? That was a joke. I'm definitely young. You know what I'm saying? Young.
You ain't that young, you're not that young.
How old are you?
I'm 40, early 40.
Okay, so I understand. You want somebody to be in the same understanding with how I get it.
Yeah,
I understand.
Basically with me.
We probably watched the same cartoons. We probably did.
Yeah, we did. Like we got the same aches and pains.
Real quick? What's the best cartoon ever made?
Darkwing Duck.
Darkwing Duck.
Boom.
That's a great classic. I think to me the best cartoon ever made was Doug.
Oh yeah, we're not the same. All right, never mind. What's the next question?
Yeah, man, I want to get into it, man. You know what I'm saying? I want to get into it. The first thing, I think is very important to just, bring up. You also have a podcast, Lunch with the Cool Kids, the podcast where real conversations meet real connection. You dive into relationships, life events, and current issues affecting the Black community while creating a space where everyone feels like they belong. It's all about empowering, inspiring, and showing that you're already the cool kid in your own story. I think that mission statement, synopsis, description of your podcast is on point, like grade A steak. You know what I'm saying? That wagyu. You know what I'm saying? It was good. Please tell us more about your podcast, man. You know what I'm saying? Like how did it start and so forth?
Yeah, man. It's basically Black folks talking about stuff. That's the long story short of it. It's we have conversations about real stuff, but like it's relationships, it's family, it's mental health, it's Black life conversation. But it's under the idea that I don't know, on a scale of 1 to 10, how popular were you in high school?
I say about a good 7.5. I was very well known, just wasn't cute, but yeah.
Okay. So my run in school, it was up and down. Like in like elementary, I don't know. I was a kid. I don't know. I remember having a good time. Middle school, I was 100% the man. In high school, not so much. In college, 100% the man. In those times that I was not the man, I remember that feeling of laughing at jokes that wasn't funny, like doing stuff to try to fit in, to not be looked at as weird.
Mm-hmm.
And like the idea is that, man, I'm not gonna go over there and sit with the cool kids. That's not my table. But once I become a cool kid, I want everybody to know that they can all come hang out with the cool kids. And at lunch, man, you talk about whatever you talk about whatever you're talking about that day. And so I wanted to build this platform where, like, I mean, everybody's not gonna be like the big major influencer, but everybody has a voice. So that's where the title is. That's where the premise is. It's lunch with the cool kids, and it's like I'm not the cool kid as the host. You're the cool kid as the guest, and we just talk about stuff. And sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's not. Man, the last episode I did, I had this therapist on, and we were talking about men and therapy and stress and anxiety. And she put me on the couch, and one of the best episodes I ever did. I probably won't back at it again because I revealed way too much. It
Yeah.
was so it's stuff like that.
I mean, I definitely chimes for you for sure. I think the synopsis of your podcast is amazing. Just how you even tie cool kids into it, like super dope. I do want to ask you real fast about what you just said at the very end. Why do you think you revealed too much when you had the therapist on?
Oh, okay. So as a host, um, I I understand that the show is gonna only be as good as how vulnerable I am. Um, so she got to ask me questions about like my wife and like why I get quiet and why I don't open up and what's why haven't I been to therapy before and like what am I afraid of and like man I started getting into like she pulled it out of me like I feel like some like as a man sometimes I feel like that I'm not good enough for my wife and I'm constantly trying to prove that I am the man that I'm portraying on the outside. It was a lot of stuff that I didn't expect to go down. And
Mm. I can relate to that. Not feeling good enough, shoot, man. Definitely can
man,
relate to that, man. It definitely I did therapy a couple of times actually, and I think first I think everybody should do therapy at some point in some way, shape, form, fashion. Go see a therapist.
yeah,
I think as black men we struggle with that. You know what I'm saying? I got a brother who refuses to go, ain't
yeah,
going, but I think it's something we all should do. I think also people misconstrued the idea of the fact that they think they're gonna be forced to just tell all and deal with emotions from past traumas. I don't think it's always that way. I just think the idea of being able to talk to somebody who's totally unbiased and can help you see things
yeah.
in a different way from a different lens is beneficial to every human. So I think we all should, do it. We all got some stuff we need to kind of, just be able to have closure with at the very least.
Bro, you know what was a crazy part is that uh she asked me some question um and I don't know how she pulled it out of me. She was smart. She said well, she pulled it out of me that probably I think one of my biggest frustrations, like as a man and as an adult, and I don't want to bring this down on a Friday night, but we're just
Yeah, yeah,
talking, you know.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, but um, like she, like I somehow I got to the point that like I never felt heard as an adult.
Mm.
Um, because like as a man and as a gifted person or whatever the case, or as W.E.B. Du Bois calls it the talented 10th. uh, the person that has the gifting, the things, they're always expected to have the answer. They're always expected to have a solution. They're always expected to be the voice of reason or whatever the case. And you're always giving the way, and nobody really actually takes the time to like listen to me. You know what I mean? Like because I'm always talking to some degree. Yeah, and when you get and man, dude, when you get a good therapist that can be like, hey, listen, you ain't got to do nothing except talk, and I'm listening right now. It's like, okay, well, since you here, guess what? So yeah, it was solid. It was solid.
That's dope. I think the most I almost said damaging, but I think the most hard. I think the hardest part for me when I went to therapy. my mom and I used to have a very like estranged relationship. And
Oh,
I've never met my father. Like he left when we found out she was pregnant, and it's crazy because he's actually a doctor at NYU in New York right now.
dang.
And it's crazy because my brother got married. He just celebrated his 2 year anniversary of marriage last September. And one of his groomsmen, this is crazy. One of his groomsmen is a heart surgeon. And we were just talking before the wedding, and he said he worked at NYU. And I was like, yeah, I know my dad. I never met him. He worked there. And I said my dad's name. He's like, bro, he's my anesthesiologist. Like, it's crazy. This stranger to me had this whole relationship with the person who created me. You know what I'm saying? It was like, wow, like the world really is like a super small place. But like to go through all that, you know what I'm saying, with the therapist, it didn't make me emotional where I cried, but it definitely made me like realize in that moment that I never really thought about it before. Like there's a whole other side of me that I don't even know. I've never met like the other
That's
part of who
insane.
makes me who I am. You know what I'm saying? And and I think that's good because again, I had closure after I talked to her about it. But like without that closure, I think a lot of people are just like in a world where they're lost. That's why I think like one of the statements I hate people say all the time, but they say it all the time is, "I got to figure out who I am. I got to find me." Like when you super grown like us and you say, "I got to find me," like I think you're in bad shape because most of us have children, and if you don't know who you are, then them children in bad shape because you're supposed to
Yeah,
pour into them. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of hard. So I think people got to have closure about different things.
but I think it's still good though that even though at this late stage, like man, you're really old. Like I'm kind of old, but you're really old.
You're
Like
older.
even at this even even at this old age, the ideal that I need part of me that's to heal.
Hmm.
I'll commend that person
For sure.
all day long. Because I mean, it's never, it's you're never too old to heal a part of you.
Right. I wanted to
Man,
ask
this
you in
is
ref.
depressing on a Friday night, man.
Nah, man. You
Golly.
know, it's gonna get spruced up. Trust me. I wanted to ask you. When it comes to podcasting, I think first of all, we both know this. The podcast industry has become very saturated, to say the least. Everybody named Mama. I'm gonna say this. Everybody named Mama are attempting to have podcasts. Not everybody is succeeding in keeping the podcast running
Yeah,
because they realize and see how much work, even if you just do audio, how much work it entails to make the podcast be a podcast.
yeah.
I want to ask you, as cliche as it might sound, I'm trying to make it different, but why do you podcast first? That's the first thing I want to ask you. Why do you podcast?
It's a lead magnet for me. Like legit 100%.
You said a lead magnet?
A lead magnet. Yeah.
Can
Uh
you explain? Yeah, what's a lead magnet? Let me help you understand.
yeah. So my business is I own a mobile podcast production
Oh,
company
wow.
in Atlanta. So like I go set up, do the whole thing in a super high quality for people who don't have the time or don't have the temperament to learn technology, but understand the leverage of a podcast and all of that good stuff. They want to do it, don't got the time.
Mm,
I come in, set it all up, produce, engineer. They have an amazing show. I tear down. They go on with their day.
mm,
Um, so the easiest way for them to see what it looks like, because of course they want to say, "What does it look like?" Then I say, "Oh, go see mine." And then they look
right.
at it like, "Oh my God, that looks amazing!" And then we're out to the
Mm,
races.
lead
So
magnet. I get it now for sure.
I mean, that's the number one answer. Yes, but besides that, man, I like talking. I like talking, and I think that God has given me an interesting perspective, and it's putting my voice in the world. It's that simple.
Man, I'm so glad you said that. For me, I always tell people all the time, I think conversation rules the nation. And for me, I'll answer the same question. I podcast because, for one, I think God gave me this natural ability and gift to just, I feel like I belong. It's crazy. I never told nobody this, but I used to go to concerts. I've been to a lot of concerts by myself, but I used to go to some of those concerts by myself and like cry. Like I
Mm,
might be at a hip hop concert and cry, and I was crying because not of the music or they weren't playing one of their sad songs. I was crying because I felt like I belonged and should have been on the stage.
yeah,
And like podcasting is a avenue for me to like be in that entertainment field where I'm behind a mic in front of a camera and like I feel like I'm like in my ordained place and it makes me feel like I don't know. For me, it's therapeutic. I'm able to like get away from adulting. I don't have to worry about the bills, the kids, the
Yeah.
relationship, the work, nothing. I can just get away for a couple of hours, whatever, have some good conversation, and then when I get done, of course, reality sets back, resets itself. But just to get away, like some people don't even have that getaway, and like I need that. You know what I'm saying? So,
Let me
it's super dope.
let me ask you this.
hmm
Before how long have you been doing your podcast?
I just made 5 years in December.
Man, congratulations, first of all.
Thank you, thank you,
Congratulations.
appreciate it.
Um, have you ever, before you podcast, or maybe even still when you do podcast, have you ever like been in the car by yourself and you just talked?
To yourself.
Yeah.
Brother. Listen. I do that. I interview myself every single day. Like
Yeah.
I interview myself when I'm in the shower. I interview myself when I'm driving to work. I'll literally like ask myself questions and then answer the questions. Gotta be by myself because if I'm with somebody, I'm being a jacket somewhere. But I'll be by myself and literally be interviewing myself. Like it's almost like I feel myself one day being like somebody famous or something, and I'm preparing myself on how to answer questions. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy, but I do that. I've never met anybody who even asked me that question. That's crazy.
Yeah, I
All the
know,
time.
bro. It's the birds of a feather thing. That's
Mm-hmm.
exactly what it is. But like, um, somebody asked me that like years ago, and I was like, "How'd you know?" They're like, "Yeah, I do the same thing." Like, what?
It's crazy.
So yeah, it's so if nothing else, you're not crazy. It's a whole bunch of us out here that does the same thing.
I'm
Yeah.
glad I ain't crazy. Thank you. Anyway, get start a Facebook group. Ones who talk to themselves. You know what
Folks
I'm
who talk to
saying?
themselves in the car.
Right. I want so I guess in addition to what I asked you about, why do you podcast? I want to ask you like, what does podcasting mean to you, and then what's the most challenging part about doing a podcast?
Um, so I did an episode a couple of months ago, and it was so I was just talking to this guy. I didn't know him at that point in time. We end up becoming friends. Um, and he was around my age, I guess our age, and he got married young. He was divorced twice, and he has this. He's at YouTube right now. If y'all watching the husband type conversations, solid guy. Talks about like from a biblical perspective, getting ready for marriage based off all the lessons that he learned. Okay, so I didn't know any backstory about him. He comes on the show. We start talking. He says he's been divorced twice. Wait a minute, what? You've been what? So that jumped out at me. I use it as a headline. Um, so I posted the episode on Friday, and like by Monday, he was like, "Hey, bro, have you seen the episode?" I don't really pay attention to it. Yeah, bro, it's like 20,000 views and climbing right now. Wait a minute, what? So I look at it. All these all these people hopped on it, and it hit like 50,000, 60,000 views in like 60 days or something like that. Not the It's not the numbers, but the comments that was in that conversation. And it was like so many people, especially women, they were like, "Man, I never saw that part of somebody who went through that." And like I hear things different now because of that conversation.
Wow.
That is what podcasting means to me.
The way you broke it down, you need to put a book out, Gerald. You know what I'm saying? What does podcasting mean to me? I'm telling you, just that little prelude in the back, on the back cover, they're gonna start filling pages. You know what I'm saying? Let me get to chapter 4 right quick. You know what I'm saying? The way you said that was really, really dope. Super dope for sure. I wanted to ask you, like I struggle with this personally because like when I first started podcasting, of course, other podcasts is what motivated me to want to do a podcast, right?
Yeah.
But like I don't listen to nobody's podcast now. Like it's almost embarrassing. Like I used to listen to all of my episodes just to hear myself critique myself and learn. Listen to the episode, what did I miss, laugh again, whatever. But now I just record them and then I move on to producing and getting ready for the next one.
Yeah.
So like, are there any podcasts that you listen to that you just gotta hear? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's your weekly thing. Like, I gotta hear the episode. If I miss, I'm gonna go back at some point and hear it.
Uh Not really, no, but I do listen to regular episodes. I listen to the Department, Omar Ekatar, however you say it. It's called The Department. Um And that's more of a social media entrepreneur type of here's the game type of deal. So I think that's dope. Um, Mel Robbins, that's my girl. Um, so I catch her stuff a lot. I listen to a lot of preaching, but like I guess that's kind of a podcast, maybe not. Um, yeah, and there's a guy um well, Ali, I forget his name, Ali Abidal or something like that. Joel Chef. I know that I'm messing these names up. I know that I am, but these are the guys that I'm looking at. Um, Not so much because I enjoy their show, but because I love the way that they interview.
Mm.
And I study interviews like a madman. In my personal opinion, I think that the if a show is good or bad or not, it widely depends on how good the host is.
Man, it might have. I don't know if it was you who posted this. It might have been you, but somebody in the Facebook group where I met you at put a post up last week, and it said a lot of people are focused on having that great guest on their show to make their show pop, but it really comes down to the host. And I
Yeah,
tell people that all the time. Like, I don't really care who's with me on the show. You know what I'm saying? I've met people of all walks of life. I think the common denominator of all the episodes I've done is me. You know what I'm saying? I think that me as a host, I have to be the person who kind of brings it all together because, like I said to you earlier, like within the first 2-3 minutes, if you don't make an impact and catch somebody's attention, they're gonna turn it off and they never come back. So I think the host definitely
yeah,
got to be on point for sure.
man. Well, I'm glad that you said that because that
Um,
was me that posted that. So
yeah, I'm gonna say it was you who posted that, but like I really stuck with me. I saved it and screenshotted it and everything for sure.
oh man, appreciate it, man.
Um,
Yeah, but see, okay, that you just said right there, that's like a little microcosm of what podcasting does. Like
mhm,
you put something out in the world, you have no idea if it's going to actually mean something to matter to somebody, but it does. Like that's the crazy part. Like you take that leap and you jump, and maybe it'll pop, maybe it won't, but
mhm,
it's going to mean something to somebody.
right.
So yeah, I mean, dude, you can't beat that. You can't beat that.
I feel that. I want to play a game, and this game was inspired by the name of your podcast. Let me see, Lunch with the Cool Kids. And so I wrote down a bunch of things that you should definitely remember, and should be relevant to you when you were a kid. And
Okay.
we're gonna kind of play a one-word game when it comes to these things. So I'm gonna name something that was a part of your childhood, and you will give me one word that you associate to that thing, or that you would use to describe that thing, or basically just one word you use to associate with that thing I named.
My
So
God. Okay.
and we'll go back and forth. Both of us will give a word. So the first one, Kool-Aid.
Cherry.
I'm gonna say needed. Gotta have even today. Kool-Aid. You ever had it today?
Really?
Ooh, we bless yourself. When you get done, go. The 11 packs for $1. But anyway, the next one, next one, ramen noodles.
Chicken.
I'm gonna say college. College nights when you was hungry. Shoot.
Yeah.
We became chopped chefs with ramen noodles. Throw a little sausage in there, a little onion.
That was the thing. Okay. So I didn't do shrimp. I didn't do beef. It had to be chicken.
Had to be chicken for sure.
Get some of the sausages, chop them up,
Mm-hmm.
put them in there. So okay, I was terrible at the water measure thing. Like I always put it at the cup, it always overflowed. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know, couldn't figure it out. I got my English degree. I couldn't figure out the noodles. So I put. I always had a plastic bowl. I put the cup in the bowl, so when the noodle juice overflowed,
We're going
it,
to the bowl.
it goes into the bowl.
You know what's crazy? I can't eat the noodles in the cup. I can only eat the ones in the package.
So you had like to make the thing.
Yeah, I had to get. I had me a little pot. You know what I'm saying? We had the little portable little 2-eyed stove thing. Plug it in and put the noodles in there with the water, boil it, and go from there. I could not do the cup. I can't do the cup.
So you had the package. You broke it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
poured it in the bowl, and then you put the water in, and then you put it in the microwave.
Yeah,
Okay.
or we had a little 2-eye thing, and we just boil it in a little pot. Somebody had a pot,
No,
one of those
no,
things.
you boiled it. Yeah,
Yeah,
you didn't even put it in the microwave. You boiled.
yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Did you put the noodles in the water and then let it boil, or did you boil the water and then put it in the noodles?
No, I put the noodles in the pot and then put the water on top and then boil it.
Nah, bro, you just need the cup, man.
Yeah, I can't do it. I can't do the cup. I don't know what it is about the cup. There's a lady at my job every day. She in there heating up the cup. I'm just like, dang, like, I just can't do the cup. It's crazy.
You got an efficiency problem, don't you?
Nah, nah. You know what I'm saying? I just, you know what I'm saying? And honestly, and the cup, they be having the peas and carrots and corn in there. I'm not trying to eat fried rice noodles. I just want noodles with the flavor.
That's part of it. What I want to watch the replays when people see this and see if the noodles, the peas and the carrots, it's part of it.
Nah, see,
It's the package. It's all the package.
Melted styrofoam in the water. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
We didn't know back then.
You chewing a piece of corn, think it's corn. Why am I still chewing this piece? And it's styrofoam. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Next one, hopscotch.
Yes.
Yes. I'm gonna say.
I'm still here.
I'm gonna say grew because it had to grow on me. Like I used to not like hopscotch. To me, hopscotch was like a waste of time. You just, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, the athletes, you just real quick jump into the thing. There's nothing like people who weren't really too athletic. They were struggling. Oh my God, we got the two. Like, you know, it just, it was never a thing for me. But next one, freeze tag.
No.
Come on.
I can't think of a word. Well, that was the word, but like the phrase that I think of, like, was way too important. Like, those freeze tag games got serious.
It did.
And if you move while you're frozen, you might as well declare war. It's a fight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was way too important in my life. I would play freeze tag right now and probably have the time of my life.
For sure. My word would be speed, because I've always been a track guy. You know what I'm saying? Still, you know, I still like to think I'm pretty fast now to this day. You know what I'm saying? I'll test it out.
Cool. You're not.
I'll test it out. Trust me, I'll test it out. But
like in your mind, you're moving like you're 15.
Yeah, but, you know, not 15, but you know, fast enough to beat whoever. But
just watch the replay. I think it's gonna say something different.
I hear you. I think for freeze tag, that's one of them games you get to showcase your speed. And I remember like in school, they would do this thing, all boys, against the girls, and like we would go get the girls first, get them all out in 45 seconds. All the girls sitting there.
Yeah.
Then they would do the boys, and it'd be like 5 boys, and the whole girls is chasing them all, and they juking them out. Like them days used to be like just great, get to showcase the speed. Then they think about you all day. Man, Daniel was fast. You remember that PE earlier? Yeah, that was me.
Then you're the cool kid.
Exactly. Come on now.
People want to sit with you now.
Exactly. You want a slice of my pizza? You know, all that. So next one. This game right here is actually relevant to what you were saying when you were talking about freeze tag, but hide and go seek.
Uh-oh.
Hide and go seek.
That's the phrase. Uh-oh. I can't think of anything pure that happened with hide and go seek. It was either real violent or real not kid appropriate.
Wow. Well, so we actually played hide and go seek. You know what I'm saying? Hide and go get it was different, but hide and go seek or hide and seek. We that was another game too, like creating that great hiding place. You know what I'm saying? Again, we had the base, it might be a tree. You know what I'm saying? You take off running across the street real fast, touch the tree, base, you know what I'm saying? Like that was dope.
Have you ever played hide and go seek in a field? That's
sometimes I'll be trying to be slick. We'd be, the base would be a tree. Maybe like, all right, hide and go seek, ever go hide, and I would just stand on the other side of the tree. So as soon as they got done counting and went off, I'm just coming around the tree and just, getting on over there. Base, I'm safe. So, you try to, they say if you're not cheating, you're not competing.
Yeah.
Next one, school lunch.
Free.
I'm gonna say, I'm I'm gonna say you better eat it, because if not, you're gonna be hungry. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
Like,
I'm telling you.
you
I'm
better
telling you.
eat
Speaking of hungry, look, y'all. Hey, look.
it.
Look, whose child wanted to interrupt a whole show? Want to say hey to the people? Hi.
Hey.
All right. Good. Could I finish the show, darling? Okay. Thank you. Okay. All right, baby.
Dad of the
Y'all,
year. Come on, Dad of the year.
man,
Yes,
listen.
sir.
The children
Yes,
are our
sir.
future.
Come on now. Way
The
to go.
God, hey, no, get out. Okay, come say hi. Come here.
Way to come
This your
on.
girl.
What's going on?
All right,
Going
get out of
on.
here.
Hey, again,
All right, let's go. I'll be
give it
there.
up for Gerald.
Close the door.
Wow. Wow.
Listen,
Say this
man.
real fast. I want to say this real quick because I'm gonna just be totally honest with you. I'm super almost anal about my recording. And if I would have had my daughter walk across the screen, well, or my son, I probably felt like, come on now, you've seen the red light blinking. You see I'm recording. Come on. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? But it's all,
Well,
I mean, you dad of the year, brother. Come on. And the year just started. Come on, Jared.
man, listen. I mean, I'll take that award, but like in all seriousness though, like my wife and my kids, they're my world, number one.
Come on.
And they need to know that, of course, we have boundaries, of course, but they need to know that there's never not a place in my life that they're not welcome.
Come
So,
on.
so yeah, and then plus two, man, everybody's gonna look at this. Y'all got kids, y'all know what time it is.
Come on now.
It's all good, but yeah, man,
McDonald's time. They ready.
Yeah.
The next one. So we talked about school lunch. So pizza days at school for school lunch.
Friday.
Come on. That's my word. Friday. Every Friday we knew.
Friday, it's pizza day.
Let me tell you what I used to do. I used to try to go find a kid who I knew wasn't gonna eat the pizza. I was like, "Can I get your slice right quick? Get your slice." So I asked for anybody else, ask him to get 2-3 slices.
Nope, nobody would never not eat it. Everybody knew what time it is. It's Friday. It's pizza day.
I need to find somebody who wasn't gonna eat it. I'm hungry. I need more than one slice.
Well, so let me ask you this: did your school actually have pepperoni?
So we had either pepperoni or just the all cheese. But every Friday was one of them.
We had those little bitty sausages.
Little sausage. We had those in the breakfast pizza.
Oh, okay.
The breakfast pizza had the sausages. Yeah.
Okay.
Next one, riding bikes.
Dangerous. Okay, so it's fifth grade. It's fifth grade and it's field day. And I was with my cousin. Shout out to my cousin Shamari. His name is Shamari. To this day, I have no idea why a kid in the 90s was named Shamari. That was his name. So me and Shamari, we're riding home. We have field day. I have an incredible performance. Top 10, easy. We're going home. I'm riding a bike. Some reason I hit the I gotta be like what 19, 11, whatever age you are at the fifth grade. I hit the front brake, boom. Somehow I flip over the front handlebars, and then the whole bike flips over my head, and I land, and I'm bleeding, and I'm hurt, and all of that good stuff. To this day, as a logical adult, I have no idea physically how that happened. Very, very dangerous. I have no idea.
That sounds like a. Did you talk to your therapist about that moment as well, Gerald?
No, I blocked it out of my mind until you just said that. It just triggered it all, and now I'm very sad.
I'm gonna say for my one word for riding bikes, I'm gonna say wheelies. Popping wheelies.
Okay.
That was a thing. I'm saying popping off the curb. You know what I'm saying? Riding one wheel, no hands, all that type of stuff. That was a little different.
Okay, so now in your old age, because you're pretty up there. Do you like realize how dangerous a wheelie is for a sustained amount of time?
I do. I actually saw a video the other day with a guy doing it on a motorcycle, like, and I was like, bro, you tripping. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
But I think wheelies are dangerous, but I think part of that adventure and danger is what is missing in today's society when it comes to kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, technology is great. You know what I'm saying? I think it's imperative for them to learn and be knowledgeable about it. But I also think like the age bracket we're in, when we were younger, we went outside and played. You know what I'm saying? Like most of the basketball players who are really really good that are coming up right now, they don't know what it's like to go outside out on the asphalt in front of the house and be playing all day with your neighborhood, and you know what I'm saying? Like it's different, it's nostalgic. You know what I'm saying? So this is different. Next one, Tailspin, the cartoon Tailspin.
Oh yeah, Tailspin.
Oh yeah, hey,
Yeah.
oh yeah. Come on, man, Gerald.
Hey, dude, listen. Disney afternoon. That's my word.
Man, definitely for sure. After school was mine for sure because that was it for sure. Next one, Rugrats.
Didn't watch it.
Ever?
Didn't watch it.
Like
I was of age by then. I was on to bigger and better things.
I'm gonna say nightly because me, my brother, my sister, we was sitting there watching Rugrats, like because it came right before Doug. We was just all watching it.
Okay, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna recant that statement because no, I didn't watch it. I own the bigger, better things. I lied to you. Actually, I didn't have cable, so I didn't have Nickelodeon. So I'm pretty sure it may have been somewhere in my childhood. I don't know. I never watched it.
Tuned it up. All right, next one, Barbershop. Like going to a barbershop, like a barbershop.
Hats.
As a kid, hat.
Say, oh, as a kid, okay. Because it's too, bro. I can't spend $75 every 2 weeks. That's the issue. But
$75 is crazy.
All right, we're gonna keep it light. Okay. As a kid, um, as a kid, not a lot of memories.
I'm gonna think for me as a kid, I'm gonna say, what's the word? Now I crack my voice. I'm gonna say enough because it wasn't enough. We, as a kid, we went to the barbershop maybe once a month. So you almost going through No Shave November at that point. You had be looking buckwheat, like you know what I'm saying. All your other friends got fresh cuts, and then that's when your mama get married. You going to get a haircut Saturday? Get up, like dang. And then you on a Saturday, which means you there for 5 hours.
Yeah, you're there all day.
But you're not gonna be there when they open. So, boom. How many ahead of them? We got about 6 ahead. Okay, they leave you there. They go and do their thing and come back and get you. Ain't no cell phones then either. So when they feel you might be done, that's when they pull back up. So you just sitting your whole Saturday at the barbershop. Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. Next one, radio and CD players.
Golden age. Golden age. I remember best times of my life, probably. And it probably wasn't. It probably wasn't, but it felt like the best times of my life. I remember well, number one, I used to fall asleep with the radio on. So you'll hear the nighttime, whatever it was, and I can hear Jodeci freaking you. You know? But bro, I remember sitting down at a desk, and I had what was it? It was Ice Cube, Dr. Dre, and I was writing down lyrics to songs. And like you'll get one lyric, you'll stop the tape, you'll rewind it, and then you go back. Like that process, that whole process of sitting down and sitting with music. And like it's the golden age, man. It's the golden age. I like it's cool that we have access to every song that was ever made ever, but it was something about like listening to the nightly groove and hoping that your song came on that night.
Yeah. The radio remind me of that show they had on BET, Midnight Love. It was like
Midnight Love. Yeah.
This is DJ from Lamb and Lamb with 95.1 Heartbeats for all your dedications. You know what I'm saying? They come on there real smooth, and then they play the song. I want to play a song for my honey, and then they play some little, you know what I'm saying, some little, freaking you by Jodeci when they 21. It's crazy, but
yeah.
Times, huh?
What's your word?
My word, I'm actually gonna say athletes. Because I think CD players for sure was when I was in athletics. You know what I'm saying? Listen to your jams before you go, play a game or something. For radio, I'm going to say voicemail. Remember, you used to play the song on the radio and
Yeah.
turn it down. Yo, this is the boy D Jones. I ain't here right now, but leave a message after the beat, and then turn it back up. Now that was a classic. You had to have the answer machine like that at some point.
Bro, I remember. Okay, I know you're gonna go to the next word, but I
Now you
remember.
did
It was my girlfriend at the time,
good.
like 14, 15, I don't know, whatever. And I remember I had the Joe album. Um, I think it's How My Name Is Joe. I don't remember. But it was this one song, All That I Am.
That's my song right there.
Okay, so I wanted to tell my girlfriend at the time that I loved her. So called her up, played the song. All that I am is a man in love with you. Like
Come on
it,
now.
man, look, CDs. If you missed it, you missed it. But if you were
Mhm.
there, you know.
Yeah, CDs was it's crazy because I be thinking about the time like, man, like CDs and DVDs. Like I have a cousin, she got at least 1,000 DVDs just sitting on shelves in her house, like on display. I
God, what
remember,
a bad
and
investment.
I remember like there was a time where you wanted to be the one to have all the movies. You know what I'm saying? Like you sitting there for 15 minutes trying to find a movie to watch, like you in Blockbuster Video or something.
Yeah,
Like, man,
but there's no way that could not scratch. Like that's
nah, it's scratched. Even now on the video game, like if I'm gonna buy a game, I don't buy the disc. I just buy the one that you can just download digitally. You know what I'm saying? To me, it's a better investment.
yeah.
Next one, swimming pools.
Um, I don't know. I'm stuck. I'm stuck. Um, and I'll make this quick, but like like your audience knows, man. My girls are everything to me,
Mhm.
absolutely everything. Um, so this year was the year that they learned how to swim, like
Mm.
swim, and watching them do it is probably one of the best memories I have in my life. Um, before then, some of the best times that I've ever had in my life are in the as a kid are in the swimming pool. Love the swimming pool. So that's where the stuck part is. And I think that's a greater metaphor of me transitioning fully into a man where like my my great kid memories have been replaced with great dad memories.
Mm. I think for me, swimming pool is I'm gonna just say chlorine because I feel like when we was kids, they had too much. You get one swallow of the water, you know what I'm saying, by accident. You almost need to go to the ER. It's crazy. You take I can still take the chemical now. You know what I'm
Bro,
saying? It's
bro,
crazy.
I was gonna say that I have no idea what classes that the pool techs went
Man,
to know how much chlorine, whatever it was, they failed. It was
failed
always too much chlorine. I felt like you would jump in and if the water is too blue, if you live in the hood and the water looks like Cancun,
Bahamas or something.
you know
Exactly.
you in for a rough day.
Man, yeah, no, I was like, I feel like they had that was before they had YouTube. It was called Me Too. They were just pouring whatever they wanted to pour in the water and stirring it up.
Ah,
Like
that's good.
that's good. I'm like, dang, like it was crazy. Um, almost done with this game. Next one, church.
um, it raised me.
Mm,
It raised me. I think it uh for better or worse, it taught me the best parts of myself.
mm,
Yep. Um, also, I'd probably say um, I don't want to say overvalued. I'm not going to say that. That's not the word, but um, overemphasized.
mm,
Overemphasized, and I'll make it quick. Not saying that because I'm 100%. I love Jesus. He's often finisher of my faith. 100%. I'm probably the first person to get into heaven. I think. Having said that, I grew up in a Pentecostal Holiness of Hell church,
same.
and it was just my life. Like that was it. So as I grew up and I grew older, it was hard for me to adjust to regular life because all my life was church. So
I think the first time I went out and did something for New Year's Eve that wasn't church, like I felt like I was finna go to hell
you going to
because
hell?
you know what I'm saying. It felt like, man, I should be. Maybe I should pull over and just find one of the churches I didn't pass because I felt like I was just out of place. You know what I'm saying? Like all I knew was watch night service, and for me, we grew up where watch night service started at 10 o'clock,
Yep.
and you gonna go through midnight, and you know what I'm saying. And like that's just what it is. You gonna go through midnight and beyond. People going to a praise break. You might be there till 1:15. You know what I'm saying? And you
We
know,
made it. We
and
made it.
and listen, don't let it be on a Saturday night. Please, we'll see y'all at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning for service. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. So straight up.
Yep. 100%.
Man, last one on this game right here. Fruit snacks.
Gushers.
Dang it. That's no. Listen, what you say earlier? Birds of a feather. That's listen. Gushers is the fruit snack.
That's
Man,
it.
Gushers
Like
is ridiculous.
when you said that, like Gushers came so fast, I was like, oh, let me think of another one. It's
Yeah,
Gushers.
Gushers is crazy. Wow.
Did you have Gushers all the time? Because we couldn't afford them like that.
No, we wasn't getting them all the time. We was getting like my mom would buy those big old like the Walmart brand where it says Fruity Fruits or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's like 25 packs of this. You know what I'm saying? Our generic fruit snacks. Every blue moon when she had extra stamps or something, you might get some Gushers.
Yeah,
And she was only buying the 6-pack. So unfortunately, we ate them all in one day. You know what I'm saying? We just going there grabbing them, eating them up.
easy.
But yeah,
Okay.
Gushers is one.
Okay, ask me again because I don't want to say Gushers. I'm gonna give you another answer.
Fruit snacks.
Fruit by the foot.
Hey, let me tell you something. Real talk, no lie. In 2024, I went on this crazy kick late night. There's a gas station right by the house, and I would go in there. It's a QT's. I would go in there, and they had fruit by the foot and fruit roll-ups, and they had me in the chokehold the last quarter of the month of the year. I was buying them and just eating them like I had never had them before. I'm like, man, why am I eating these nostalgic fruit snacks, man? Like fruit by the foot and fruit rolls is great.
Yeah.
For sure. So I'm gonna ask you the question I wanted to ask you. You mentioned earlier that your wife and your daughters are you only have is it two daughters and your wife?
3 of them, 3 girls.
3 daughters and a wife. Okay.
Yep.
So you mentioned that your wife and your children are your world.
Yep.
Is, commendable to you for sure.
Appreciate
I wanted to ask you, does being a podcaster interfere with home life, like your marriage, kids, homeboys, any of that at all?
No, not at all. But I have the well, I guess everybody does, but I was going to say that I have the unique benefit of having like my own equipment and like producing my own show.
Mm-hmm.
So like I'm not really on anybody else's timetable. So I mean that helps, but at the same time, it's like I don't really. I'm not talking about anything that they can't be a part of.
Mm.
So my first season of Lunch with the Cool Kids, like I knew that I wasn't gonna be getting any views or any real traction. So I'm like, okay, this is the time to like really try stuff out. So a lot of the times, I dedicated an episode to interview them and have them talk to me.
Mm.
And man, if you have kids and you have a podcast, do it. Just trust me. Do it. Number one, your kids are smarter than you think they are, and they're more in tune than you think they are. And number two, you, number two, when you look back at that, like a year from now, 6 months from now, 5 years from now, man, it's gonna melt you. It's gonna melt you. So yeah, it doesn't interfere, and I wouldn't let it interfere.
Mm. I'm gonna ask you one more question about your world before I introduce you to mine. As a clear God-fearing man, do you ever like meet guests who may like use language that you don't necessarily use that much anymore, or things of
Yeah.
that nature? And if you and when you do, right? So how do you handle it? Because people ask me this all the time, like how do you handle guests who might have super derogatory things to say, or they might cuss every other word, or they might be smoking the blunt while you on screen with them? Like, what is it's totally different how I'm moving, but how do you handle those type of guests?
Yeah, well, that's not my show. So they're just not going to be on. And not saying that I don't even have a Christian podcast. I don't think so. I think
Mhm.
I'm a Christian, so it comes out.
Right.
But I don't have a Christian podcast. So I mean, people come on there and they'll cuss uh, because that's what comes out of them. But like, I mean, well, number one, like, don't cuss a lot on my show because it's gonna get me demonetized, and that'll suck. So that more than anything, like, don't mess with my money.
Hmm.
Um, but no, I mean, besides that, I want people to feel as comfortable as they possibly can because that's how I'm going to get the best interview out of them.
Right.
If people are constantly monitoring themselves, then they're they're just not responding, and like that's not going to be the best show. But having said that, yeah, bro, I don't have like people who have like crazy world views and stuff like that. Like that, I just hate everybody and everything and every like. I just don't have them on as guests. I don't think that um my audience wants to sit through that.
So now this is a learning moment for me, right? So scenario, you get a guest, you've done your, because we all do it. You do your own little due diligence of like, going through their content and kind of getting a feel of how they might be, what have you. You have them on your show, you go live, boop, start recording, talking to them, and they just like start going ham with every other word. How do you, Gerald, like bring it back down, or do you just end it? Like, what's your method of going to if that was to happen?
Well, I would never end it. I would say, yeah. I mean, I kind of play it cool. Like, hey, bro, if you because it did happen at one episode. It's like maybe 2 or 3 episodes ago. You can go back and listen to it now. Um, a great guy, really good, solid guy. But he was he's over 40 years old. He's about our age. He's like 41, 42, 43, and he's like, yeah, I'm not getting married. I'm gonna date forever. All good. Polygamy's cool with me. I thought that was interesting. I thought it was interesting enough to have a conversation with him. Um, Very intelligent guy, but he cussed a lot.
Mhm.
And like maybe about the fourth one in, I was like, "Hey, bro, listen. If you say that one more time, then I'm gonna get demonetized. Please don't play with my money." And he's like, "Oh man, my bad. I got you, bro." So and then he just stopped. So um, I think it's a hard balance
Mhm.
when somebody is like that's the way that they express themselves um because you want that raw energy, but at
Right.
the same time my first responsibility is to my audience. And if it's putting them in a position where all they hear is the cussing and all they hear is that, then I'm not doing them a service anymore. So I think I hope that me and my audience we're so cool, and then by also with me and the guest, like we talk beforehand, so we've already developed a rapport. So if I have to come in and just boom, it's not going to be anything. They're not going to
Offensive.
be offended
Right.
by it.
I feel that. Thank God. No, like I said, I learned on that one. I think you never can learn too much. I've been doing this for 5 years, but I always wonder, because I always tell people all the time, be your authentic self. But sometimes, like, they be like, ooh, you know what I'm saying? And like, and I think for me, like when you're live, the worst thing you want to do is create like this weird,
Yeah,
awkward tension, you know what I'm saying? Where you have to like almost enter a different mode to like let people know that, hey, stop playing with me and my production. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, but I don't want to have I don't want to have a funny Marco moment either. Did you see what happened?
no, what happened?
Oh man, him and I think it was a young dude. He was like a some blood or something like that. Like Funny Marco he's a his whole thing is dry humor and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So he'll he'll roast you, keep a straight face, that whole thing. Like the gang member that day, they didn't think that it was funny. So, they all, checking him, pulling on this stuff, pushing on like it was awkward. He was being bullied in real time. And
Mm.
like I don't think that that's a good show. So I'm okay. This is probably a better point of that. I'm gonna always esteem my audience first. So if it's not a good show, then I'm not even gonna put my audience through that. I just won't release it
Mm. So yours are pre-recorded more so?
all the time. Yeah,
Okay, I feel that. I feel that.
yeah. But like and different people have different things and different philosophies and stuff like that. I don't go guest first. Like I don't have a guest and then like, okay, let me figure out what we're gonna talk about. I don't do that. I go subject first. Like
Mm.
this is like I'm gonna talk about I don't know. I'm gonna talk about
Therapy, and then you find a
therapy.
therapist, right?
I'm gonna talk about therapy. Let me find a really, really, really good therapist who can speak to this,
Mm.
as opposed to like, oh man, I got my homegirl. Oh, she's a therapy. Let me talk about therapy. Um for the most part, no, y'all watching this, y'all have no idea who I am. I hope y'all get to know me after this, but right now y'all have no idea who I am. So the only thing that gives me any type of validity is the conversation.
Right.
So the conversation to me is the most important thing. So I'm gonna find somebody who can feed the conversation the most, as opposed to just having a different black person in the seat.
Mm. That's a good one. I like that. I'm writing that down. Um, so I'm gonna introduce you to my work. I got a few questions. I ain't gonna keep you on that. I promise. So my first question is, and I thought this up a few weeks ago. I thought this was a great question. I was at work and somebody said something. I thought about it. Do you think a stay-at-home wife is a career?
No. No, I don't.
give me,
What?
give me, give me your thoughts as to why you feel that way.
um, I I think it's a role. I don't necessarily know if it's a career. I no, I just don't like a career kind of had. I mean, well, forgive me, I'm a caveman in some regards, but
Nah,
we you say career, I immediately think money. So
right?
okay, but even going past that, logistically, career, ideally, there's another place that you can go. Like like I'm gonna be if I don't know, like say I'm at middle management, then I go to like executive of the department, and then I go to like the C suite, and then I go CEO. That's a career path.
Mm-hmm.
Like mom is mom. That's you peaked out at day one. You know what I mean? Like your mom on day one, your mom on day 3,000.
Right. I
So,
feel that.
sorry, I didn't know that you were
Nah,
going to ask that first. My God.
nah, it's it's all good. I just wanted your opinion. I think you know what I'm saying. I think that I agree. It's not a career. Um, I agree it's not a career. The other day, somebody at work said they said, "What if you're taking care of everything at home and like you're making sure everything?" And I said, so doing everything at the home while the man is working is the career, right? That would be the career. Like, that's the work. And she said, "No." She goes, "What if I'm making sure that I may not be taking care of those things at home, but I'm making sure somebody is." I said, "Oh, so you're just creating another building, like because you're at home, but you're not doing it. You're just making sure that it's done by paying someone else to do it, which is creating another bill." So yeah, it's definitely not a career in my opinion either. But I just want to hear your point
I
on that.
didn't, ladies, listen. He didn't tell me that he was going to ask that. I'm sorry. I apologize. Please watch my show. Please.
Yeah, I agree though. My next question. So more introspective question. So clearly you're a black man. I'm a black man. There's a lot of people who are, you know, they consider themselves ultra black, all black everything, support black businesses, black, 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 black. They call themselves super woke, wide awake, never hit snooze, right? Um, People who are that way but date outside their race, do you think they lose some of their luster in a sense?
Yeah, they do. And we know they do. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We all know that they do. And I think sometimes we struggle to not blatantly say yes because that yes is too harsh.
Mm,
But I it's very, very hard for you to um orate the idea of black excellence and black is beautiful, and you can't see it in the partner that you pick. Don't get me wrong, love is love, love who you want to. It's all good, but that's the part of the argument that you're willing to tap out of,
Mm.
and that's okay. It's okay, but you no, no.
Man, I think about that all the time too. Like, I've never had interest in dating outside my race, but like when somebody is so like, boom, boom, they wanted the Wakanda warriors down there, and then they, decide to date outside their race. Like, I always wondered if people look at them and be like, man, like, half of these conversations we had yesterday don't even make sense now. You know what I'm saying? Because you lost some validity. You just and who I saw you walk into this party with. So I was just curious your thoughts on it, for sure. Now, with that being said, do you think you would feel a way? And I'm gonna preface this by saying I felt this way, me
Okay.
personally. Do you think if one of your daughters walked in with somebody who was not a black man, you would feel a way?
No, no, I personally wouldn't. Um, I personally wouldn't, because the world that they grow up in, the world that they're growing up in, is not the world that I grew up in.
That's a good point.
Um, and my issue would be my personal bias, not their preference.
Mm-hmm. With my
Um,
daughter, I didn't feel a way. I just felt I was beating myself up thinking that I didn't give her a good enough example of a black man, which is why she wanted to date a Hispanic boy.
yeah,
So
see, but that's you. That's a
mhm.
that's an
It's
inward
an
me
inward
problem.
thing, right? Yeah,
That
yeah.
has nothing to do with, yeah. Um, but to be fair, I haven't crossed that bridge, so I don't really know.
I get where you're at, yeah.
I mean, I hope that I wouldn't, but man, today, bro, the world is so strange that if if you just come home with just a white guy, then like, okay, I'll live with that. I'll take it. But yeah, I mean, I would prefer her to come home with a black guy. But at the same time, I don't want her to come home with a version of me.
Mm,
You know what I mean? Like I want her to, or I want them to find their own life. I want them to live their own life. I don't want to like have this weird parental hold over them forever. That,
right.
no, man, go live your life. And if you're happy and they're treating you well, and I mean that's basically it. I can't even say they're financially secure, because when I married my wife, I wasn't financially secure. So that's, I would like for them to be, but it's something to be said about building together. I know this isn't your question, but like,
Come on, brother. Put that on the t-shirt. Take that Hawks off
man,
and put,
so, but anyway, I don't want to. But yeah, no, 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 no. It's
Mhm.
it's it's all good.
Building together is dope. That's what's up. So I'm gonna give you four very popular. First of all, do you drink coffee?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Perfect. That's perfect. Perfect. So I'm gonna give you four things you have to get rid of. One. I'm gonna combine Target and Walmart together as one.
Okay.
Amazon is the second one. Starbucks and all coffee shops is the third one. And the fourth one is Chick-fil-A. Which one are you getting rid of? So Target, Walmart, Amazon, Starbucks, or Chick-fil-A?
Chick-fil-A.
You read it?
And I'm in Atlanta. But
Yeah, that's
yeah.
where it came from, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get rid of Chick-fil-A. It's cool. It's just chicken. It's chicken and fries. It's
It's
cool.
chicken.
But you can't. I mean, can't get rid of Amazon. You just can't.
Can't, yeah, can't.
Um, maybe Target, but not Walmart.
The Target is ridiculous. Target is a waste of gas.
Yeah, 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 yeah. But it's bundled with Walmart. So what are you gonna do?
Right, right.
Uh, Starbucks maybe, but then you said all the other coffee shops. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh well, that's that.
What if I said Chick-fil-A and all fast food? So
Then
then,
how am I gonna feed my kids when it's my night to feed
fast,
them?
right? Fast food, coffee shops, Amazon, or Target, Walmart. Buy coffee, buy coffee.
Target, Walmart.
You get ready to Target, Walmart.
Yeah,
Just wait 4 days for your stuff to come from Amazon.
it's got to go. I got Amazon Prime. It'll be
Prime, come on now. Prime ain't always Prime. Sometimes it's time.
no,
Too
it'll be
much
here,
time.
bro. I'll order some off Prime right now, and it'll be here by the end of the show.
Yeah, you got that super Prime. I got you. All right, so this is a very important question. I think you're a married man. Definitely want to congratulate that.
Thank you.
Black love. You know what I'm saying for sure.
15 years in July.
Come on, a decade and a half. Come on.
Yeah, man.
I want to ask you, where do you think romance has gone, especially in Black culture? Wow, that's a great question.
That is a great question. I don't even want to answer it. I just want to marvel at the question. That's a really, really good. Did you come up with that, or was that
I
chat?
did.
Don't tell me.
While we were sitting here, I came with that.
Okay. Like, they don't even tell me. I think. Did you say relationships or romance? Ask me again.
I said, where do you think romance has gone in relationships, especially in Black culture?
It's almost. I'm gonna say it's almost non-existent, but that's not really true. I think that romance is there. I think that romance, as we see it, is gone. Um, because like when you think of romance, what do you think of? You don't have to answer. I think it's some version of flowers, opening doors, roses walks in the park, coat over shoulders, that whole thing.
I mean, I can answer. I think it's.
Oh, okay.
I think it's some version of those things you name, like the chivalry things, the chivalrous things. I think it's also some version of just being intentional and paying attention. Like, I think it's hard to be romantic if you haven't been paying attention to what the cliff notes that have been given to you from him or her. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh,
Ooh, come on.
bars, okay. Uh, but okay, so intentionality, making making uh making your girl, your woman feel special.
Mhm.
Um, so if that's that, then sorry, audience. If that's that, then it really depends. Romance really depends on the recipient of it. So if these young girls, if these 18, 19, 20 year olds, if their version of feeling special is, I don't know, being tagged in a picture on Instagram or something like that, uh, then to their generation, that's romance. And I may not necessarily think that that's romance, and I don't think that that's romantic. But if it's something that's displayed towards them, and they feel and it's intentional, and they feel loved, then and they feel special, then I guess technically romance isn't dead. I think the way that we think of romance, that may be dead. I can't think of the last time I opened the door for my wife because we got the beep beep, and you know what I mean. So, and she just gets in, and I'm like, oh no no no, and I'm just chasing and trying to open the door. Man, it's really more so the gesture, and you like, I'm here, and the door's open, and it's cold, you know. So she, to her, she feels valued by me, putting on the seat warmer before she gets in.
Mhm.
So like, yeah, man, I think that a lot of times I think that we do stuff for more for display, to let them know that we want to be romantic than to actually do a thing that they appreciate.
I always say this too. Well, I ain't gonna say always, but recently I've been saying it a lot. Um, I wonder if romance or being romantic means doing something you want to do for somebody or receiving what you want to receive from somebody. And I think after hearing what you said, I think I'm more prone to believe that it's receiving what you want to receive from someone. Because I think a lot of times you think about like romance and comparison to like the love languages. A lot
Yeah,
of times people get caught up in this space of I'm gonna do this gesture, but it might not be something that she want to receive. There's a lot of women, for all the women who love flowers, there's a lot of women who hate flowers
my wife
or are
too.
allergic or
Yeah,
start sneezing, and you go out here and buy her roses, and now she looks out your head because she told you on a date 3 that she can't stand flowers. You know what I'm saying? So like,
but now because it's Valentine's Day,
Mhm.
I have to come with this big old thing of roses for my wife at work just to have the show that, look, I'm your husband, here you go, just so everybody else can feel like that she's loved. But she herself doesn't like the roses. And I mean, it's cool. I'm fine with doing it, whatever the case. Uh, but that act in itself is not something that is intentional and makes her feel valued.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. So then I think it's not like why do you need the flex and the stunt then? Like I would say that like you know what I'm saying these roses, you know, not tripping on the money, the $69.99 plus tax, whatever, delivery free, whatever, close to
Yeah,
over $100. But like you don't even like flowers.
yeah.
But Broom Keisha, Janie, Ashley, and Rebecca received flowers between the hours of 9 and 4, and so you want to feel included and receive some from your man as well. Like okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, but if I bought you flowers on a random Tuesday, you might be bothered because you don't like flowers. Like that's that weird dynamic.
I'm gonna tell you why I buy the flowers. Not because she wants the flowers, but what about edible arrangements? not not because she wants the flowers, but because I don't want her feeling isolated at work
Hmm,
with everybody else.
right.
So that's more the intention than the actual flowers itself. So in my way, that is me thinking about her. But it's not like, hey, baby, here's some flowers. Here you go. No, it's I want you to feel good at work. I want you to feel so here you go, and it's
Mhm.
all good. Plus, I mean, married almost 15 years, like you just kind of know what headaches. I just don't want the headache.
Listen, I'm gonna go to bed peacefully. My last question to you, and I definitely can't wait to get your thoughts on this one. Um, if God came to you tomorrow and said, "Gerald, you've been doing good, son," that's the
Nice,
voice. That's the voice I'm gonna give him tonight. And
God's
he said, he said, there's four things I'm sure you have in your relationship, but I'm going to remove one of these. You have to tell me which one to remove. You have to remove all variations of this one thing of your relationship. And there's no way you can get this thing from any of the other things that are left. Those four things are communication, trust, passion, and laughter. Communication, trust, passion, and laughter. Which one do you get rid of and why? Another great question I can put out there.
that's my God. Um, Communication.
We get rid of communication.
Yeah,
What's your reason for that?
because I can't get rid of anything else. Like that's the only. Um, like if I can't laugh, then just kill me now.
Mm,
Um, if I don't, if we can't trust each other, then a life of paranoia is not a life worth living together. Um, what was the other one that wasn't communication?
trust, passion.
And passion. Passion is subjective. Passion comes in waves, and I I don't want to live a life of marriage without passion, but you sometimes you just have to.
Mm-hmm.
um uh and like yeah, I mean communication, I want to keep communication too. I do. But I absolutely have to trust you. I absolutely have to laugh with you. Um and passion is awesome. So because I like sex.
Come on
So
now.
yeah, communication.
I'm gonna answer the same question. I think this is an important question to answer. So I'm gonna say I'm gonna go in order. So I think laughter is medicine. I think I'm super goofy, and by default, I just make people laugh without trying, and I like to laugh, so you gotta have that.
Yeah.
Passion. It would be hard for me to function comfortably in a relationship without it.
Yeah, but God just said you got to get rid of one though.
Right. So that's, you know what I'm saying. So I gotta keep passion. You know what I'm saying. I'm keeping passion. I'm keeping laughter. Trust. I think trust. If there was four pillars keeping the relationship steady and stern, trust would be one of those pillars. So that means if it's broken and now we're shaky, the days are numbered before we fall.
That's good. Yep.
And so by default, that would also leave for me communication. If I can trust you, we have passion and we can laugh. sometimes you know this being married 15 years. Some of the most amazing nights you have with your wife, y'all was just in there laughing about random stuff, cracking up. You know what I'm saying? That's I got. If I can trust you, we have passion. We can laugh. Like we'll figure it out.
Bro, can I share something with
Yeah,
you?
sure, sure.
Um, Laughter, for us, laughter is more important now, and it means more now because it's harder for us to make each other laugh.
Mm,
Because, like,
the bad jokes.
I mean, no, listen, bro, dude, we've been married like in July for 15 years. We were together for 4. We've been together totally almost 20 years.
Wow.
Like everything that I would say that's funny, she's already laughed at it. She doesn't think that's funny anymore, you know. So, and like the same thing. So it's really special. And I'm not saying to say that we don't have a good time. I'm just saying that, like, man, this long in the game, I know all your tricks. You know all my tricks. So when we have a genuine laugh, like it's bro, it's the best thing in the world because it's like it's laughing because like yeah, it's funny, but it's also you got me,
Mm-hmm.
you got me. That's pretty good. So yeah, yeah.
That's dope. Um, there's two things. Well, there's two things I was doing this show before I get up out of here. And first I want to say before. Well, I'm gonna do two things first, or one of them at least. I always end every show I do with a prayer. I'm gonna pray now. I'm praying for us right now before we depart, and then I'll continue. But dear Heavenly Father, we come right now for prayer. We ask that you please, first and foremost, forgive us for all of our sins, ones known and unknown, past, present, and in the future. Father God, we truly thank you so much for allowing us to see another day on this earth. Thank you for your grace, mercy, and favor bestowed upon our lives. Thank you so much for keeping us from all danger, seen and unseen, known and unknown. Right now, as Gerald and I get ready to depart from one another, I should please allow this to not be the only time we cross paths, but to continue just to nurture and build a new relationship in some way, fashion. Thank you for the person that he is. Thank you for him being a devoted father and husband. I ask you please continue to bless his union as well as his children, his family as a whole. Bless his endeavors when it comes to business. Bless his podcast. Bless his businesses. Just bless everybody that he comes in contact with. Allow an influx of clientele. Allow an influx of just views and likes and subscriptions and everything for him to continue to flourish and just be the best version of himself and the man that you ordained for him to be. For myself, I thank you so much for creating balance in my life. I thank you so much for allowing me to cross paths with Gerald. Thank you for the things I've learned from him on this evening alone. I'm asking please just continue to mold me in the man that you have me to be. Allow me to continue to just be strong in my walk. I thank you so much, Father God, for not allowing me only the confidence to embrace the ones in my life who need to be there, but also the confidence to omit the ones who don't. And as always, last but not least, continue to keep our friends, family, loved ones, children, even our enemies near and far away, and ones known and unknown, covered in the blood. In my name we pray, amen.
Hey man, and dude, whatever you're about to say before you say whatever you're about to say,
Mm-hmm.
man, can I say that um I I don't think that there's enough prayer in culture anymore. I think that we have a lot of assumptions on what we think that God would say or how he feels.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of times, if we're being truthful, it's actually detached from actual prayer.
Mm-hmm.
And man, dude, keep doing that. Keep doing it. That means a lot. Like that that blessed me a lot. So thank you so much.
Yeah, man, I'm glad it did. I remember, a quick little story. I remember when I first, so I used to do this show with another gentleman, and then we had a woman with us as well. So it started out with two, then three, then two, then just me. And so,
Man, that never works, but go ahead.
yeah, right. So, but I remember one time we were during a record a show, and we kept having like so many like just technical difficulties, like over and over. The sound would go out, and the camera would go out. Then I couldn't reconnect the camera. It was just a lot of stuff. I was like, I was getting frustrated because I just wanted to record, and the fans are just waiting. And so a whole 45 minutes goes by, and still haven't gotten it. So it just ended up we just didn't get to record, and I felt like time and gas and everything was wasted. It was just annoying me. So that happened like 3 times in the span of like a month. And one day I was sitting there, and something just came over me. I was like, man, I'm gonna start praying before every show,
Mm.
and I'm gonna start praying at the end of every show because I'm meeting these different guests. People are in my studio, people are, virtually. I'm constantly coming in contact with different people, and you never know what people are going through. And I
Yeah.
think just the power of prayer, like you said, there's not enough prayer in our culture. The power of prayer is such an amazing thing. Like prayer, it changes things. And I think I've seen people on my show, like I'll never forget, there was this one woman I just prayed, just like I did for us right now, and she ran out the room crying. And she came back and she was just like, man, I don't know why, but like when you prayed, like it just did something to me. And like this other gentleman that was there, he was like, man, that's a breakthrough. Like I don't know you from Adam, you know what I'm saying? But you felt something I was praying about and it touched you and like you just probably needed the prayer. So I try to do that, you know what I'm saying? And I appreciate you for just receiving it. Because
Yeah.
some people they try to be, whatever. So but I thank you for receiving it for sure.
Beautiful, man. Yeah.
I
Okay.
wanted to ask you, man, before I let you go, just please shout out, where they can find you. I'm gonna tell you right now, you know, what I'm saying, I ain't just saying this; it's not lip service. I definitely am going to partake in listening to your podcast. I'm gonna be what I'm saying, a very avid listener. I want to make
Thank
sure that I'm, listening to your production. I love the way you carry yourself, and like I said, I've learned things from you even in this short time of us being together this evening. So please tell everybody where they can find your podcast.
Thank you. Yeah. It's lunch with the cool kids wherever you listen to your podcast. So Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube. That's uh to be honest, I don't really care about Apple Podcast, Spotify. Go to YouTube because that that helps. So yeah, lunch with the cool kids. Also, if you subscribe, I would really appreciate it. In the show notes, I am launching in the next 3 weeks a podcast academy to help people start, grow, monetize their podcast, do it the right way. So you don't have to spend $10,000 before you realize that you don't need half the stuff that you bought. It'll be in the show notes. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, other than that, that's you can on Instagram. You can go to Gerald Davis Media. You can find me there. But if you see my face, more than likely you can click on the link and then I'll respond at some point.
Yo, man, I appreciate you, man. Again, this is a treat. Definitely, like I said, I'm gonna keep in touch for sure. But definitely got to do it again, man. Super dope, and keep on doing what you're doing, man. Like I said, you outstanding young brother. I'm gonna call you old. You know what I'm saying, young brother,
No,
and
we primate.
I appreciate the way you carrying yourself, man. Real good walk, man.
Man, I appreciate you too. Thank you so much. Hey, bro, this is beautiful, wonderful, wonderful podcast. Have me back anytime. Absolutely.
Yes, sir, definitely. But listen, man. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Friday night. Go see them daughters, right? And I'll talk to you soon, my guy.
All right, man.
Yes, sir. And listen, my talkers, I appreciate y'all this evening. That was a blessing for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I learned a lot from Gerald this evening. Just the conversation is pure. Y'all know me. I love conversation. Conversation rules the nation. You can never have too much of it. And it's a great way to get away from adulting. I challenge y'all to just, you don't have to make it a podcast. Just get with your friends, get your glass of wine, your soda, your water. You know what I'm saying? Get some chips. You know what I'm saying? Y'all used to do it all the time. You used to sit there watching Waiting to Exhale and stuff. But just talk. Just talk to your friends. You know what I'm saying? Fellas, talk to your fellas. You know, this is I keep on saying this is a time of year from November until I think it's March. That's where we have the most suicides. We have the most deaths because people aren't checking on the people they say they love. Go check on your friends. Go check on your loved ones. Go check on your significant others. When TikTok shut down for 19 hours or whatever it was, that was a to me that was a message right there. Hey, we got to find some ways to keep ourselves entertained. Go check on your loved one. Go check on your significant other. Go read a book. Go check on your children. Learn your children. Right? Gerald said it best. You know what I'm saying? They're in a different world than we were in, and so just continue to be the best version of yourself. I love y'all to death. For everybody who is new, everybody who follows Gerald, if you like what you heard, you know what I'm saying, I do my podcast every Sunday and Wednesday live on YouTube. Would love to have you as a subscriber. Definitely just look up If This Mic Could Talk everywhere. You'll find me. You know what I'm saying? I made sure when I named the podcast, I named it something that nobody else had on purpose so that when you look it up, all you find is me. If This Mic Could Talk. I love y'all. Until next time, y'all be safe. Be blessed.